AP News. I'm Ed Donahue. James Biden is on Capitol Hill for a private interview as part of the House Republican impeachment inquiry into his older brother. The AP's Sagar Meghani has the story.
What do you make of the investigation, Mr. Biden?
It's one of several interviews GOP lawmakers have done in trying to build momentum for an impeachment process that stalled in recent months. Even some Republicans have criticized a lack of evidence directly tying the president to his family's alleged efforts to leverage the Biden name into corporate paydays. The probe was undercut again last week when an FBI informant who claimed there was a bribery scheme involving the president, Hunter Biden, and a Ukrainian energy firm was charged with making up the story, which was central to the GOP investigation. Sagar Meghani, Washington.
James Biden told investigators his brother never had any involvement in the Biden family business dealings. Israeli strikes across Gaza killed at least 67 Palestinians overnight into today, including in areas where civilians have been told to seek refuge. A brain pacemaker is helping a woman with crippling depression. It may soon be available to more people. Emily Hollenbeck says her depression was like a black hole. Now she's having electrodes implanted in her brain as part of an experimental therapy.
Thinking, okay, I'm going to go to this thrift store at 4 o'clock. Oh, that's fun. That's exciting. Well, what's near there? Is there a cafe or a cool restaurant? Like, these things wouldn't even be on my radar with depression. They wouldn't even be possibilities. Now it's like, not only am I doing those things, but I'm looking forward to them, and I'm planning them, and I'm enjoying them.
Researchers say the treatment called deep brain stimulation, or DBS, could eventually help many of the nearly 3 million Americans like Hollenbeck with depression. 2 people are dead, 1 person is missing in a climbing accident on Mexico's highest peak. This is AP News. Companies are turning to robots and technology to fill the shortage of workers.
Batesville Tool and Die is based in the Indiana countryside, so attracting workers isn't an easy feat. That's where robots come into play. While job seekers were scarce, they and many other companies across the United States found automation to be the key to manufacturing. Productivity in the U.S. is healthy right now, and that means the economy is too. This unexpected boost in productivity allows companies to increase profits and wages without increasing prices. And in the long run, studies are showing that technological improvements in AI and automation can create more jobs than destroy. I'm Haya Panjwani.
Lawmakers in Alabama are advancing a bill that would strictly define who is considered female and male based on their reproductive systems. Opponents say the move could erode the rights of transgender and intersex people in Alabama. I'm Ed Donahue, AP News.
Whether taking on large commercial landscapes or your own backyard, let Steel help with your pursuit of the perfect cut. Introducing Steel zero-turn mowers for homeowners and pros. With a wide range of features and options, like our advanced 4-wheel suspension system and 0% financing available, it's time to let the pursuit begin. Real Steel. Find yours at steelusa.com/zero-turn. Available at select dealers. Financing available on qualifying purchases and subject to credit approval. See dealer for details.
Why is the grass always greener on the other side of the fence? Well, they fertilize with Dent County Farm Supply Fertilizer. The plant is located on Highway 72 across from the concrete plant. They have fertilizer, ammonium nitrate, and micronutrients, and they also have herbicides and seeds, as well as custom fertilizer and lime spreading services. Plus, Dent County Farm Supply at 1716 West Scenic Rivers Boulevard here in Salem is now offering John Deere financing, and they can handle all of your animal needs. For more information about fertilizer or feed, call 453-2920.
This is Cardinals broadcaster Ricky Horton. Soon enough, the boys of summer will be back and on the fields in Jupiter, Florida. Spring Training 2024. It'll be another season of the home runs, the hits, and the unforgettable moments. We will have you covered and will be with you from the first pitch to the final out, right here on the Cardinals Radio Network, powered by Graybar.
Cardinal Baseball on your Ozark Sports Leader, KSMO.
Good afternoon. It is 66 degrees, wind out of the south at 12 miles per hour. Our forecast for the rest of the day, we'll see clouds increasing, a high temperature of 71 degrees. The wind out of the south at 11 to 14, gusting as high as 21 miles per hour. Tonight we have a 60% chance of seeing some showers and maybe some thunderstorms in the late overnight hours. Low temperature of 51 degrees, a south wind at 11 to 16, gusting at times to 24. And then for tomorrow, a 70% chance of showers and thunderstorms. As we get toward late afternoon, we may see just a little bit of sunshine. High temperatures on Thursday around 63 degrees. The wind out of the south during the morning at 10 to 15, turning to the north during the afternoon, continuing to gust to 23 miles per hour. Thursday night, mostly clear, an overnight low of 36 degrees. Wind out of the northwest at 11 to 14, gusting to 20. And then on Friday, sunshine, highs in the mid-50s, a northwest wind at 11 to 15, gusting to 22. Friday night, 32 degrees under a clear sky. And we'll start the weekend out with sunshine on Saturday, high temperatures in the upper 50s. Saturday night, mostly clear with a low of 40. And then for Sunday, sunshine, highs in the upper 60s to near 70. Sunday night, it'll be mostly clear, a low of 46 degrees. Sunshine on Monday, all the way up to 73. Monday night, we'll have clouds move into the area, have a low temperature of 57. And then for Tuesday, chance of seeing some showers with a high temperature of 74. Right now, it's 66 degrees, and time now for some commentary from the Brownfield Network. Also a check of the midday livestock report.
As a child of the 1960s from a rural community, I saw my share of farm families flee the land for better opportunities after too many seasons of flooding or drought. Hello, everyone. I'm Cindy Young with Brownfield, and this is my 2 cents. The farm crisis hit the Midwest hard between 1981 and 1985. As a college student at the time, so many of my friends that had planned to get their degrees and put their education to use on their family farms found themselves seeking employment elsewhere. Others who had seen the yearly struggles of life on the farm were determined they would never be dependent upon the price of corn and soybeans for buying groceries or paying for orthodontia for the children who inherited their father's crooked teeth. Iowa State professor of economics Neil Harrell estimated that more than 3% of the 2.4 million farmers in the United States were leaving the farming business each year during the 1980s recession. A survey predicted that about 60,000 people were displaced due to the foreclosures. By 1985, Deere & Company was losing money on almost every tractor, combine, and planter manufactured. Studies showed a rise in divorce rates and alcohol abuse in farm families in the mid-'80s. Some farmers broke under the pressure and committed suicide. A few were so broken they took the lives of others before taking their own. Crisis lines were humming. As the Great Depression of the 1930s left its mark on many Americans, so did the farm crisis of the 80s leave its mark on many farm families, agribusinesses, financial institutions, and rural communities. Talking about what happened during those years is still difficult for some who lived it. It's our history, though, and we should tell our stories so decades from now, our great-grandchildren know the truth. I'm Cindy Young with Brownfield. That's my 2 cents.
Sharpen herbicide takes your burn down up a notch, going from burn down to
3 to 5 times faster burn down.
From strict tank mix limitations to
awesome tank mix compatibility.
And from controlling some weeds to
controlling more than 80 of the toughest broadleaf weeds,
including mare's tail.
Because
if it can't control mare's tail, it's pretty much just fancy water. So
sharpen up your burn down
with Sharpen herbicide. Powered by Kicksor Technology from BASF. Always read and follow label directions.
Can you imagine what it must be like to have nowhere to turn as a young teen? This happens when parents struggle with addiction, may be incarcerated, or unable to care for their child. And it's devastating. Halo is the foundation of a family for children without one, surrounding them with support, meeting their basic needs, and helping them set and reach their goals. With your support, homeless youth are given a chance at a better life. Go to haloworldwide.org today.
This is Cardinals broadcaster Ricky Horton. Soon enough, the boys of summer will be back and on the fields in Jupiter, Florida. Spring Training 2024. It'll be another season of the home runs, the hits, and the unforgettable moments. We will have you covered and will be with you from the first pitch to the final out, right here on the Cardinals Radio Network, powered by Gray Bar.
Cardinal Baseball on your Ozark sports leader, KSMO.
Direct cash cattle trade is sluggish and cash hogs were mostly steady. Hello, I'm Brent Barnett with your Brownfield Livestock Market Report. Cash cattle country is off to yet another quiet start on Wednesday. Asking prices are around $184 to $185 in the south, but not fully established in the north. Bids remain very elusive at this time. While some packer inquiry may start to develop today, it's looking like significant trade volume will be delayed until Thursday or Friday. Boxed beef cutout values were mixed at midday, with choice up 84 cents at $298.21 and select down $2.50 at $285.32. The choice select spread was $12.89. At the Joplin Regional Stockyards in Missouri, feeder steers sold steady to $10 higher compared to the most recent sale. Feeder heifers were $3 to $15 higher. USDA says supply was heavy with very good demand, and a large crowd was on hand despite the President's Day holiday. Feeder supply included 55% steers, and 65% of the offering was over 600 pounds. Medium and large one feeder steers, 552 to 598 pounds, brought 292 to 326. Medium and large one feeder heifers, 600 to 649 pounds, sold for 239 to 273. Cash hogs are steady at midday with moderate opening negotiated numbers for the major direct markets. Those major markets might not have been reported due to confidentiality, but the improved negotiated sales imply buyers needed near-term supplies to keep chain speed at an acceptable level. Livestock slaughter numbers for January are out Thursday afternoon. The average barrel and gilt weight in the Iowa, southern Minnesota, South Dakota reporting area last week was 288 pounds, down 0.7 on the week, but up 2 pounds on the year. Butcher hogs at the Midwest cash markets are called steady at $50. Slaughter sows are steady at $39 to $42, and boars are at $14. At Illinois, slaughter sow prices were mostly steady at $38 to $50. Barrows and gilts were steady at $37 to $47. Boars were marked at $8 to $25. Pork values were lower at midday, down $1.45 at $90.99. More market information at brownfieldagnnews.com. I'm Brent Barnett with Brownfield.
Have you ever met a nematode? Probably not. But this sneaky ingrate and its billions of friends steal soybean yields right out from under your nose. Nematodes cause up to $1.5 billion in soybean revenue loss each year. And if that's not enough, they also amplify sudden death syndrome. Why? Because they're microscopic good-for-nothing thieves, that's why. Take action against these yield-stealing jerks with Allevo soybean seed treatment from BASF, the only proven winner against both SEN and SDS. And remember to always read and follow label directions.
Brownfield farm broadcasters are on the ground at state, national, and sometimes international events throughout the year, providing timely and relevant news to its audience. They utilize several social media platforms and digital channels to engage with viewers and listeners and stay up to date with agricultural news. Brownfield, a brand farmers and ranchers know and trust. Learn more at brownfieldagnnews.com.
And that has been commentary from the Brownfield Network and a check of the midday livestock report. Right now, let's take a look at our updated funeral announcements. They're being brought to you as a courtesy of Your World Today, serving Salem and Dent County for over 30 years. Your World Today is 4 pages of information. It will take about 5 minutes to read, and they are available in over 40 locations here in Salem and in Bunker, and also online at our website at ksmoradio.com. Teresa White of Salem passed away Friday at the age of 90. Funeral services will be held this afternoon at 1 o'clock at the Salem Chapel of the James Gar Mortuary. A visitation for family and friends going on now until the time of service. Interment will be in the North Lawn Cemetery. Memorials are suggested to Grace Community Church or to the St. James Living Center. Cards are available, and all of the arrangements are under the direction of the James and Gar Mortuary of Rolla for Teresa White, whose funeral services will be this afternoon at 1 o'clock at the Salem Chapel of James and Gar. Amanda Malone of Salem passed away Friday, February 16th, at the age of 50. A memorial service will be this evening at 7 o'clock at the Rolla Chapel of James and Gar. Visitation for family and friends will be held at the chapel prior to the start of the service, beginning at 5 o'clock. All of the arrangements are under the direction of the James and Gar Mortuary of Rolla for Amanda Malone, whose funeral services, a memorial service rather, will be held this evening at 7 o'clock at the Rolla Chapel of James and Gar. George David Miller, age 82, of Salem, passed away Monday. Funeral services will be held tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock in the Wilson Mortuary Salem Chapel. Visitation will be this evening from 5 until 7 at the chapel. Burial will follow the services tomorrow in the New Hope Cemetery. All of the arrangements are under the direction of the Wilson Mortuary of Salem for David Miller, whose funeral services will be tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock in the Wilson Mortuary Salem Chapel. Leonard Ray Sutton, age 84, of Salem, passed away Sunday. Funeral services will be Friday afternoon at 1 o'clock at the Wilson Mortuary Salem Chapel, with visitation on Friday as well from 11 o'clock until service time. Burial will follow in the Polk Memorial Cemetery. Memorials may be made to the Polk Memorial Cemetery, and envelopes will be available, and all of the arrangements are under the direction of the Wilson Mortuary of Salem for Ray Sutton, whose funeral services will be Friday afternoon at 1 o'clock in the Wilson Mortuary Salem Chapel. Infant Coulter James Walker passed away Wednesday, February 14th in Houston. Funeral services will be held Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock at the Wilson Mortuary Salem Chapel. Visitation on Sunday as well from 1 o'clock until service time. Burial will be in the Dry Fork Cemetery. Memorial contributions may be made to help provide a memorial stone. Envelopes will be available, and all of the arrangements are under the direction of the Wilson Mortuary of Salem for infant Coulter James Walker V, whose funeral services will be Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock in the Wilson Mortuary Salem Chapel. Tessa Cherry Dees, age 32, of Columbia, passed away Friday, February 9th in Columbia. Private family services will be held at a later date. All of the arrangements for Tessa Cherry Dees are under the direction of the Wilson Mortuary of Salem. That has been a look at our updated funeral announcements. We invite you to stay tuned. When we come back, we'll take a look at local news.
What's the fastest way for you to get yourself up to date on the latest in news, sports, weather, and obituaries that costs you absolutely nothing? It's Your World Today. Serving Salem and Dent County now for over 20 years, Your World Today is 4 pages of information that will take you about 5 minutes to read, and they're available in over 30-plus locations in Salem and in Bunker. Your World Today. Pick one up every weekday. They're free!
It's now time for a look at local news brought to you by Southwest Baptist University's Salem campus. SBU Salem campus provides quality higher education close to home for residents of Dent County and the surrounding areas. If you'd like more information on degrees and programs, stop by SBU Salem campus today at 501 South Grand Street or call 729-7071. A meeting of the City of Salem Utility Committee has been called by Committee Chair Kyle Williams for this evening at 6:15 at the Salem Community Center and the Armory. After the roll call and approval of the minutes of the January 10th meeting, the board will hear reports and updates concerning financials and utility billing and payments. That will be followed by an update on the electric rate study and the city financial audit to be presented at the next Alderman meeting. The board will also hear work reports from city employees. A question and comment period will then be held before adjourning. The meeting this evening is open to the public. And the Salem R80 Board of Education met last Thursday for their regular board meeting. In the Parents as Teachers report, Dr. Herman Blau reported with Mrs. Mary Beth Patrick that the program currently services 20 families and 22 children. There is currently a waiting list as the program tries to build capacity. In the superintendent's report, Dr. Lynn Reed said that the construction trades building is done except for the setting of the transformer, which cannot be done by the city until June. She also noted that the batting cages have been installed in the new 10 gym, and she said all necessary paperwork was submitted to the Dane County Clerk's office for the ballot measures in time to be put on the April ballot. The We Support Education Committee has been established with co-chairs Dustin Howard and Abby Wolf and treasurer Sherman Odom. Reed stated the insurance loss ratio at Salem R80 was the lowest it's been in a few years at 80%. This means for every dollar paid in premiums, 80 cents is paid out in claims. The school has run as high as 142% in recent years. After the building principals gave their reports, the board approved the contract with HTK for the FEMA building, approved the 2024-2025 school calendar, and clarified board policy GCBA to indicate that graduate hours toward a degree or certificate beyond a teacher's current education level will be compensated on the salary schedule. The school board set the March Board of Education meeting for March 14th at 5:30 at the district administrative offices and set the William Lynch open house for March 12th from 4 until 6 in the afternoon. The board heard the first reading of the MSBA board policy update before accepting the resignations of Jackson Mitchell, Dr. Amanda Irwin, Kim Dunn, and custodian Steve McDonald and George Ward. The board then went into closed session where the board approved hiring Mark Howard as assistant track coach and Sherry Green as volunteer assistant track coach. A motion was then made to offer all principals and directors a contract for the 2024-2025 school year, which was approved by the board with Chris Haven abstaining. A motion was then approved by the board to employ Clay Moody as an assistant high school principal for the 2024-2025 school year. After a personnel issue was discussed, the meeting was adjourned. And in other news, the Salem Police Department has released their report for the month of January. The department responded to 13 accidents during the month. Officers also responded to 10 alarms sounding and addressed 29 animal calls. Officers investigated 3 assaults or fights, 7 burglaries, performed 20 well-being checks and 8 area checks during the month. The department investigated 7 domestic disputes, a verbal disturbance, conducted 61 follow-up investigations, and provided 16 escorts. They investigated 2 nuisance incidents, 5 harassment reports, 2 fraud charges, took a missing persons report, and offered assistance to 3 motorists. The Salem Police wrote 2 property damage reports during January, plus made 11 stealing reports and 4 shoplifting reports. Officers investigated 6 suspicious circumstances calls, 15 suspicious person calls, and 6 suspicious vehicle calls. Officers responded to 2 trespassing calls and attempted to serve 10 warrants during the month of January. Officers conducted 106 traffic stops during the month as well. They also prepared and submitted 17 uniform crime reports, and the police responded to a total of 525 incidents in January, with the average response time to calls being 2 minutes and 31 seconds. The average time spent on the scene of those calls was 17 minutes and 21 seconds. And the Salem Memorial Hospital Foundation is sponsoring the return of the Dancing of the Salem Stars. That'll take place this Saturday evening at the Salem High School Gymnasium. 7 couples are scheduled to perform, including Brett Capps and Shelley Bland, Melissa Ragsdale and Lane Hayes, Lancer Blair and Kim Mosier, Rosalie Wright and Cameron Greener, Tierra Lewis and Skidder Lewis, Shannon Wright and Paige Dowdery, and April Greener and Caleb Shepard. Sierra Connell will dance solo in the competition. The Salem Academy of Dance will also have 5 performances during the show, featuring 2 tap routines and 3 jazz routines. Advance tickets for a floor seat are $20 or $25 at the door if any remain, and bleacher tickets will be available for $10 at the door. To get your tickets in advance, to sponsor a table, or for more information, call Hannah Harris at 573-729-5917, extension 4005, or you still have time to email hharris@smdh.net. The doors will open at 6:30, and the dancing competition will begin at 7 o'clock. All the money raised from this event will go toward needed improvements and capital equipment. And have you made your appointment yet with the volunteers from AARP who are conducting free tax filing assistance at the Salem Community Center at the Armory again this year on Fridays? Well, this free tax filing assistance will continue every Friday through April 5th. Appointments can be made by calling the Salem Community Center at 729-8163. Now, this is the 20th year that Healthy Dent County has partnered with AARP to provide this free tax service to our community, and it's primarily provided by AARP-trained volunteers. The AARP Foundation Tax Aid volunteers are trained in filing certain tax forms and schedules, including the Form 1040. However, the Volunteer Protection Act requires that the volunteers stay within the scope of the program. So if counselors feel that they don't have adequate knowledge or your return is too complex, you may need to seek another qualified counselor or find paid tax assistance. Items that you'll need to bring with you to have your tax returns prepared include proof of identification, such as a picture ID, Social Security cards for you, your spouse, and dependents, or a Social Security number verification letter that was issued by the Social Security Administration. You should also bring birth dates for you, your spouse, and dependents that will be on the tax return. Also needed are wage and earning statements that include Form W-2, W-2G, 1099-R, 1099 miscellaneous from all employers. Also year-end Social Security statements showing total Social Security received and Medicare payments, and interest or dividend statements from your banks, and that'll be Form 1099. You should also bring a copy of last year's federal and state returns, if available, plus proof of bank account routing number and account numbers for direct deposits, such as a blank check or deposit slip. To file taxes electronically on a married filing joint tax return, both spouses must be present to sign the required forms. The Salem Community Center at the Armory is located 1200 West Rolla Road, and appointments can be made by calling 729-8163. And that has been a look at local news brought to you by the SBU Salem campus at 501 South Grand Street here in Salem, where they offer degrees in the Nursing RN Bridge Program, Criminal Justice, and Elementary Education. For more information about the SBU Salem campus, contact Admission Counselor Chris Welch at 729-7071.
What are your plans for the future? Do you need a boost to generate a new plan, or can't afford to go away to college, or your work schedule won't allow you to go? Let Southwest Baptist University Salem campus be the boost. SBU is committed to flexibility, expertise, and the state-of-the-art technology. We now offer 2 new associate's degrees in teaching and Christian ministries, along with master's degrees in education and business. For more information, please contact Admissions Counselor Chris Welch to schedule an appointment as a prospective or returning student. You may call 573-729-7071. SBU Salem campus is your higher education with Christian principles.
Wofford & Wofford Plumbing can solve all of your septic problems. They have an electric sewer machine and camera to help locate and solve septic problems. Plus, they can handle all new construction, residential, and commercial plumbing, as well as repairs. Wofford & Wofford Plumbing. Call the office at 729-0014, and they can get you taken care of.
Do
you have drainage issues at your home or business, ignoring them only makes the problem worse. Give Titan Paving and Drainage a call and let Don Mutz come on out and assess the best way to alleviate the problem. Pooled water in the long term can damage asphalt and concrete, while standing water around your home can lead to soil erosion, as well as unstable or structural damage to a foundation, porch, or patio. Call Titan today to find the right drainage solution for your property at 453-6462 or 453-6379.
72 Farm Center is not just your ordinary feed store. They carry all kinds of cattle, horse, chicken, and dog feed, just to name a few. It's a feed store that carries it all, like bulk garden seed, utility trailers, bush hogs, gates, panels, fencing, and much more. Plus, did you know that 72 Farm Center is a Tartar Farm and Ranch equipment dealer? If they don't have what you're looking for, they'll be glad to order it for you. 72 Farm Center is located 4 miles past the hospital on Highway 72, or call 729-8122. A proud supporter of the Salem FFA chapter.
Have you seen Town Screen yet? It's one of the most affordable ways to get your message out in the community. With strategically placed vertical screens in numerous locations in Salem, check it out at Advanced Chiropractic, Jet Tires and Auto, Salem Bowling Center, and Terrell's Complete Auto Care, just to name a few. Find out more about how you can use Town Screen for everything local. Stop by 800 South Main or call 636-338-1199. Hometown created and maintained. Town Screen in Salem.
As we take a look at our local sports coverage, Braden Gapps scored 11 of his 14 points in the fourth quarter to help lead the Salem Tigers past the St. Clair Bulldogs on senior night last night at the Salem High School gym by a score of 50-41. Landon Richter scored 13 points for the Tigers, who also got 11 points from Trey Richter. Salem improves to 13-12 on the year, and they wrap up their regular season Friday night in the homecoming game against Ava, with the festivities of homecoming to take place between the junior varsity and varsity games. The Salem boys basketball JV won their 20th game of the year as they beat St. Clair 40-31. The Tigers will play Ava Friday at 6 o'clock and go for their second straight sweep of the SCA Conference, as they are now 6-0 in conference play. The Missouri Tigers fell to Tennessee Tuesday night, 72-67, and they have lost 13 games in a row. Sean East had 24 points, and Noah Carter followed with 20, as Missouri remains winless in the SEC Conference. They will be at Arkansas Saturday morning. We'll have that game for you beginning at 10:30 here on 1340 and 95.7. Right now, check with sports from the Missouri Net.
Missouri Net Sports, I'm Bill Pollock. Mizzou men's basketball coach Dennis Gates losing his patience with his team after dropping to 0-13 in SEC play.
The big picture of it all was our inability. We got to do a better job. We got to do a better job drawing fouls. I think we suck at it. We're terrible. We're terrible at drawing fouls, and we got to do a better job.
A 72-67 loss to number 5 Tennessee in a game in which the Tigers were up 7, 42-35 with just under 15 and a half minutes to play. But then Dalton Connect had 10 straight points for the Vols, who rallied late for the win.
He's SEC Player of the Year. At least he has my vote. It's not even close.
One of the biggest state tournament events that Misha will hold, starting today at Mizzou Arena in Columbia, state wrestling. Daryl Bradley from Misha.
We have a 4-day championship, and it will conclude on February 24th. We actually have two-day championships with Class 1 and 2 boys and Class 1 girls being held on the 21st and 22nd of February, and our Class 3 and 4 boys, Class 2 girls will be held on Friday and Saturday, February 23rd and 24th.
One of the areas the Cardinals need to improve upon outside the need for starting pitching was leadership in the clubhouse. Paul Goldschmidt was a player that pushed for Matt Carpenter to get back on the roster because of his leadership abilities. Another player ready to take a bigger role and shake off 2023 is Nolan Arenado.
I just want to come in with a different attitude, help this team win a lot of ball games, and just be there for the guys. And I feel like last year was just not a lot of good things happened, and I just feel like I got to take a next step as a leader, and I feel like I'm ready to do that.
2 adults have been charged at the Chiefs rally shootings. Lindell Mays of Raytown and Dominic Miller of Kansas City, both charged with second-degree murder, 2 counts of armed criminal action, and unlawful use of a weapon. Bill Pollock, Missouri Net Sports.
In search of the perfect cut for your lawn? Join the pursuit by choosing from a full line of Steel mowers. From gas and battery options to zero turns and push mowers, Steel offers a wide range of mowing solutions for homeowners and professionals. Right now, get 0% financing on your purchase with a Steel zero-turn mower. Real Steel. Find yours at steelusa.com/mowers. Available at select dealers. Financing available on qualifying purchases and subject to credit approval. See dealer for details.
Missouri families have seen how terrible cancers caused by HPV can be.
To hear the words, "you have cancer," it strikes you to your core.
Fighting cancer is expensive.
When given at age 11 or 12, the HPV vaccine provides lifelong cancer prevention.
Why not protect them for the rest of their life?
Let's prevent cancer together by getting the vaccine, stopping the spread of HPV.
A message from Missouri Immunization Coalition.
I'm Dr. Tiffany Bland with Salem Memorial District Hospital. Recently, there have been many changes within our local clinics and hospitals, and you may find yourself looking for a new provider for your children. At SMDH, we would like to reach out to the community to let you know that we do see patients of all ages. Most of our providers are family practice, which means that we have been trained to see well child visits as well as sick visits. We are happy to answer any questions that you may have. Salem Memorial District Hospital. Every patient, every encounter, every time.
Why is the grass always greener on the other side of the fence? Well, they fertilize with Dent County Farm Supply Fertilizer. The plant is located on Highway 72 across from the concrete plant. They have fertilizer, ammonium nitrate, and micronutrients, and they also have herbicides and seeds as well as custom fertilizer and lime spreading services. Plus, Dent County Farm Supply at 1716 West Scenic Rivers Boulevard here in Salem is now offering John Deere financing, and they can handle all of your animal needs. For more information about fertilizer or feed, call 453-2920. We have a chance of some showers and thunderstorms developing overnight tonight and continuing into tomorrow. Nice temperatures, though, although we do have a cooler period as we start out the weekend. We'll tell you about the forecast coming up right after the top of the hour. Right now, a quick break and back with news from the Missouri Net.
There's a place for do-it-yourselfers with everything for your car or truck.
It's Winter Car Care at K&H Auto Supply, where you'll find great deals on Park City Conventional 5 quarts of motor oil and MicroGuard filter, $26.99. Hot Shot Secret Diesel Fuel Additive for $17.99, and Lucas High Mileage Fuel Treatment for $8.99. That's at K&H Auto Supply, your Park City Auto Parts store.
Park City, yeah, Park City, Park City.
Young persons that are involved with FFA grow in terms of knowledge, experience, education, and responsibility. Salem Memorial District Hospital would like to salute the Salem FFA chapter on the fine work that they do and the accomplishments they achieve through hard work and diligent effort. Salem Memorial District Hospital saluting the Salem FFA chapter.
The Bank of Salem Shazam Bolts mobile app offers you a safe, easy, and fast way to manage your accounts, identifying potential fraud, finding surcharge-free ATMs, checking your balance, and providing alerts for purchases exceeding your designated amounts. Anytime, anywhere, even when the bank is closed, all from your mobile device. Shazam Bolts, a safer, easier, and faster mobile solution. Stop by the Bank of Salem for enrollment information. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Message and data rates may apply.
Agriculture plays a huge part in our everyday lives, from food that we eat to the fibers in our clothes. If it weren't for the agricultural programs such as FFA, we wouldn't have the resources that we do, and that's one reason Derek and Randy Hubbs of Hubbs Tire Center and their families are proud to support the Salem chapter in all that they do.
Missouri Net News. I'm Elisa Nelson. Enough is enough. That's what Governor Mike Parson says while announcing that Missouri is sending about 200 National Guard members and up to 22 Highway Patrol troopers to the U.S.-Mexico border. He says the mission will help with preventing illegal border crossings, the smuggling of drugs, and homeland security.
Some 170 individuals on the terror watch list have been apprehended at the border. And that's just the ones we know of that got caught.
A strong storm system will begin to move into the southern half of Missouri tonight into Thursday morning. Some isolated strong to severe storms are possible with large hail. A northeast Missouri woman is accused of abandoning 9 puppies and 2 dogs. KTVO-TV in Kirksville reports the charges follow an investigation by the Schuyler County Sheriff's Office in 2023. This is Missouri Net.
Freedom is